up, everyone? Welcome to Track 2 of the International Women's Day celebration for year 2020, where all the 6 different chapters from the Philippines join together to celebrate this wonderful day, celebrating Empowered Tech Filipinas and all our wonderful allies. And before we proceed to our next topic, which is the fireside chat, where you will meet and greet all your Women Tech Makers ambassadors, I have a couple of announcements and also interesting news to say. Number one is we will be giving away raffle prizes by the end of the day. So make sure to register to the Accenture survey that will be found on the comment section below, and also in the previous post that we had put up there. Next is we have a Courage to Create contest. This means that you just need to share your Courage to Create story, more details and mechanics in any of your favorite or in any of Women Tech Maker chapter you belong in. We have posted that, and we will be giving away grab vouchers for that. Woohoo! Third is at 2:20 p.m. there will be an I Am Remarkable session. So please register there. You will learn about battling imposter syndrome and having self-promotion practices. So check it out. It is a closed session, so it's an amazing experience. I can tell you for that because I've experienced one. And then if you're into another fun activity, we will have a quiz contest also at 2:20 p.m. So the link will be added in the comment section. So join that. We will be giving away awesome prizes as well. And last but definitely not the least, share your experience to the Women Tech Makers 21 in the entire day. So make sure to use our official hashtags, hashtag IWD, hashtag GDG, hashtag WTM, and all the other hashtags you can feel feeling blessed, Saturday, etc. So make sure to share that and comment down below if you have questions for any of your speakers. And also very important in our Women Tech Makers fireside chat later on, I also want to give a huge shout out to all our sponsors because they also helped this event successful and possible. So little bit, almost 4 hours left for this event. So this will be impossible without the help and support of Women Tech Makers Bacolod, Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, Manila, Zamboanga, and of course, this is powered by Google. This is co-presented by Accenture Philippines in cooperation with Infuse Solution Incorporated. Shout out to our media partners and our developer student clubs, USTP and What a Life PH. Some prizes that you can look out for. You will be giving away a Google Home Mini, 100 Grab and Food Panda voucher, 200, and then 500 Street Buy vouchers to all our friends from Mindanao area. This is sponsored by Infuse Solutions, so check it out. And of course, if you want to win the Google Home Mini, very important. If you want to win Share Treats gift cards, ano ba, Frances? Make sure to go to bit.ly/Accenture Survey 2021. That is bit.ly Accenture Survey 2021. And that is it. Make sure to use our official hashtags, hashtag IWD, hashtag GDG, hashtag WTM, hashtag Courage to Create, and hashtag IWD21. Yes. And for this session, we will be having a fireside chat question and answer portion. So if to those who are not familiar, it's actually informal but still structured moderator and guest interview. So I will be your moderator for this part of the session. It's like an ask me anything or conversation type. So if you have questions for your WTM ambassador, make sure to drop your questions down below and I will be welcoming in them one by one now. So the topic of the fireside chat is actually the incredible strength and power women have shown in the face of adversity and the passion to make extraordinary things. So without further ado, let me introduce to you. Let me just call them on and then they can introduce themselves to you. From GDG Cebu, Women Tech Maker Cebu, let's call on Franche Camoro. Hello. From WTM Baguio, Kimberly Joyce de Guzman, and from WTM Bacolod, Dave Celo. Hello, guys. Are you there? Hi,
Hi.
everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Yes, how are you guys? Have you eaten your lunch na ba?
No,
Yes.
Oh,
What is lunch?
Dave, okay.
no
You may
lunch.
leave the chat na. Okay. Hi, Kim. Actually, this is my first time meeting Kim, so I'll probably ask
Yeah.
you more questions later. Kay, I don't know you. These two people I've seen on a regular basis, so be prepared. But yeah, this will be a very informal chat. We want to hear from you, your experiences, especially in the tech world. And since you're ambassadors, we want to hear from your stories. And since this is a women tech maker ambassador, like, you might be wondering what is Dave doing here. Like, Dave is an ally to women tech makers. So yeah, we also hear from that side, and probably there might be some conversations that he can like share that this happens to guys as well. So that's an interesting discussion. Before we begin, I want to give a very quick background of like women tech makers in general. Like for the past 9 years, we have celebrated IWD throughout the months of March and April. So April, pasok pa tayo. But as COVID-19 spread and people everywhere went to lockdown, WTM ambassadors had to change their plans. For this year, our community prepared the IW2021 going virtual. So I think some of us did this last year, but this is actually the first time that the entire Philippines were like, let's do this, like have one big event. So it's amazing. And to get this started, I want to ask you guys couple of like introductions. Like, can you talk to us like your name, your job role, where you're currently based, and how many years are you active as an ambassador? And like, yeah, like how you're feeling na lang, just to lessen the tension. So yeah, anyone wants to start?
Look who is.
Okay, ako na mag-start. Hi everyone, I'm Dave Celo, currently Women Techmaker of Ambassador of Bacolod City. I've been an ambassador since 2019 up until present. So currently working as a graphic designer, but transitioning to be a QA for a dev team in our company. So hopefully I'll be pursuing another career in the future. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. You can call another ambassador to like share. You have the power to force them to talk.
Friendship, pasok.
All right. So thank you for passing me. Um, yeah. What I was gonna say? Yeah. So I'm currently a full stack developer for Simp here in Cebu. I've been with Simp for like 4 years already. So ever since being an intern. And I've also, in the same length of time, I've also been part of GDG Cebu, and eventually became the Women Tech Makers ambassador for GDG Cebu as well. So I think I've been an ambassador for like over a year or 2 years, something like that. So I'm very excited to be here, to be with you guys, and share whatever under the sun. So Kim, I guess it's your
Yeah.
turn.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm the current WTM ambassador for Baguio. I've been the WTM ambassador since 2019 as well. I think the same time as Dave. Also, I just recently transferred to a new job, so I'm now a software engineer for Shadow. I think Lee mentioned Shadow before the first track, so I'm working with her, but I'm on the tech team. So yeah, and I'm a cat person, so I have lots of cats too. I have 4 cats actually. So yeah,
Well,
Thanks, Kim. So yeah, Francia is a hamster person, so probably like not the same, but yeah, I don't know
I
why I
just
have
love
this.
all that.
You love
I
all
just love
cats.
all the elements. Yes.
Okay, now since we already got to know quite a bit about one another, I will proceed with our actual questions. First things first. What is the square root, chart? Like this one is like, who is an inspirational woman or person in your life that you look up to, and how does this person influence you into pursuing your career in tech?
I think I can go first. To I guess it's kind of cliche or maybe like a sob story or something, but the most inspirational woman for me until now is my mom because she's been very supportive and she shows resilience in everything, and she's just been like um just the support system in our family. And as for tech, though, I think there's a one person I currently admire. I think it's Grace Quick is actually, or also known as Annabelle Chong. She's actually a porn star before, but she transitioned to a different career. She's now in IT. And I think she shows courage in just changing the career and showing that it doesn't matter about what happened prior to what she's doing now. And she's currently like the code queen in Los Angeles. So I think that's pretty cool. And she's very brave. So I really admire the braveness and that just showing that to people too. I think is very awesome. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Kim. Anyone who wants Dave, Frenchie?
So for me, I think the same as well. My mom, because she's been very supportive of all of us siblings, um, with our talents and our interests. But although she's not a tech person, um, so on that note, I also have, as I got exposed to programming and being in this job and also being an ambassador and organizer, I've met a lot of women boss ladies that I really admire. So one of those would be like Miss Connie of Aleph Talent or Miss Loris of Cavallo and um, M- Miss Fair of Flair of Third Tech Media. If that's all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
correct. Third
That,
tech.
so like I look up to them because uh they're very much in control of what they have to do in their life because like they own these companies and they're growing it and nurturing it, and I want to be just like them in a way that I innovate on my own and like create something that could help a lot of people. So yeah.
Thanks, Frenchie. Dave?
Well, I wasn't really prepared for this question, but lalayo pa ba tayo? The most person that really inspired me the most is my really dear friend, Frances Marie Teves.
Ah! Sige, let's
Yeah,
go.
I wasn't really aware that you'll be the one hosting, but already answered the question a night before. So why you? As for
Oh my god.
everybody who really don't know, Frances and I were college classmates since first year until graduating. Up until now, we're very good friends, even though we're really far away from each other right now. We're islands away. But Frances is just a very empowered woman. She's very ambitious in a way that she aspires something for her life, for her family. And there were times that when we were in school that most of us has really got away na hindi na namin kaya yung IT, but Frances is just the light in our group. Like, she put the mood so light in every hard times we do. And that's why I'm really glad that I pursue IT with Frances, with me, and with my friends. That's all.
Dave naman eh. Parang hindi ako prepared doon. Ano ba?
I wasn't prepared
Aw.
actually
This
too.
session.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. Dave and I are actually like really good friends. So yeah, I miss you, Dave. But
Don't
yeah,
cry.
it's funny. Like I didn't actually expect that. Okay, let me just brush that off one quickly. But Dave, yeah. I really like that, every one of us like has someone closer to our home, like, that who inspires us, regardless if it's our mom or it's a friend or if it's like a tech leader that we look up to. But all, at the end of the day, we also like should be inspired by ourselves, because like, like we forget, like, you're also awesome. So yeah, with hearing all your job introductions earlier, like I was like, okay, this is a good, like, everyone has something that they should be proud of. So I just wanted to say that, because we are, oh wait, let me just, I think my camera got disconnected. Wait, let me just fix that. Technical problem tayo, di ba? My camera got shy because they've talked about me. So like, yan, okay, and then we're back. So yeah, like because of our hashtag courage to create, like, we also have to have courage and confidence in ourselves, because we can indeed achieve something great and awesome. Okay, next question is, for the years, like women tech makers or GDG in general, actually, since we're both closely related, have been creating or organizing in-person events. Now that this change, like the pandemic 2020, caused or pushed a lot of communities to go out of our comfort zone and to go online, virtual. What's the hardest part of actually planning, online events? Like, what have you done in the past few months, or years, or even right now, like with Women Tech Makers 21? Like, what have we done so far? Like, how does it feel? How hard it is to actually do an online event?
For I'll answer. For online events, it has its own set of challenges. Um, Needless to say, though, I still think in-person events are have a lot more challenge in them. But of course, for online events, there's the difficulties with connecting to the internet. Sometimes in different areas, internet can get spotty, as well as for GDG Cebu. Right now, we're doing the tech technical live stream. We're in charge of it, so it's kind of challenging to learn new skills to like do the all the transitions and all the overlays, and like how to coordinate with each other and learning as we go. um, and also another challenge would be getting engagement from the audience, because easily in a live event, you can have like hundreds or even 1,000 people attend an event. But because we're online, people can just alt tab or have two different screens, so there's not as many of an engagement with the audience as a live event.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's so hard to get engagement. Like, have you tried hosting something and then like no one replies to you? Like, what is this awkward silence? Please help me. Any any others? Kim, how about you?
Actually, I prefer online events rather than like in person because I'm very much of an introverted person, so I get scared when I get to socialize with a huge group of people. So I prefer like this simple like groups. But I think the hardest part with online events, I think, is I feel bad. Aside from what Francie mentioned, I feel bad about not giving much to our volunteers, especially because before we can have like an after party to show our gratitude, to give them something in return. But now it's really hard to just interact with them. So I wish I could do more for our volunteers, and I wish I could do more to for our community, even though it's an online event. So I guess that's the hardest part, like knowing what to do in terms of like helping the community and helping the volunteers.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. Dave?
Well, considering that this is a virtual event and kind of a big event as well because of collaboration of six different chapters in the Philippines, the number one challenge for me, I think, is, and I believe this, the planning stage. Because every one of us is different places. We are really far, so it's hard to collaborate in terms and coordinate in terms of time because some of us works at night, some of us works at day, or some of us has prior engagement in times of in a schedule where we are really need to plan or do a meeting. But I think that this challenge had really made us more capable and efficient in a way that even that we know that it is hard, we can still pull through this event. And also, I think most of the points that I list down was already mentioned by Franche. Participants has been had a great impact when in terms of online event due to most are interest level could be very low, and then connectivity of internet as a medium to be used for the live event, and unforeseen circumstances like in electricity interruptions and all. So it can be challenging, but hopefully hopefully these challenges or problems will not arise right now. So I'm very hopeful for that.
Yeah, please no. Like PLDT, wag naman po. Like, manawagan po tayo sa lahat ng tao. Wag po tayo mamatayan ng kuryente. But
Yeah.
yeah, just to also add, like, all valid points. Like, I'm actually a bit happy that we're going virtual because like we can now collaborate with another even if like we're in the safety of our own homes. Like before, I don't know, like I think Franche has encountered this. We had to fly in from different parts of the Philippines just to give a talk, and then right now like you can get a speaker from the US to talk to like this local event, which is an amazing opportunity. And then one also is like I think especially the rise of online classes, we see that a lot of people are struggling to get devices and internet. So like the Philippines has really not the best quality when it comes to internet connection, and not everyone has access to it. So yeah, probably in the next couple of years we'll see like how can we like tech communities like actually go to like encourage other people offline, because I think that's the best pro for offline events, because if you don't have internet, just come there and then you can learn something new. But right now like you have to load yourself, you have to get good camera or PC just to join this. So yeah, I hope that
If you
we
don't have internet, just come there, then you can learn.
Sorry, my
I
phone just.
was like, okay, see, but yeah, we have those technical problems still here in online and in virtual. So yeah, it's still fun. Okay, next question. We've talked about the hard, like, okay, what's the best part? I think I answered a bit like what's the best part now, like because we're going online. What's the best part? Like you can say like one word or like a sentence. What's the best part of having online events? Let's start with
Less
Dave now.
expenses.
Less
Less
expenses.
expenses. Yeah. You
Diba?
don't need to rent
That
a bigger venue.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
true.
need
The
to
venue.
provide food, something like that. So it's really very um, ideal sometimes if you're just a small community
Mm-mm.
that you don't have enough budget to host a physical event if the situation is normal. So online event is also one of the best option if you lack budget, you lack sponsor. At least you can pull through an event even without the need of money.
Yes. Yes, correct. Less expenses. What else? Collaboration, probably. The one I answered.
yeah,
Yes, you already
I was gonna
mentioned.
say that, but you already said it a while ago. Um, but yeah, I would also agree with Dave. But I just wanted to highlight like with virtual events, it has um, given us the flexibility to share with the people, and as well as really commit to our goal of like letting or helping people learn in any circumstance. So like that's why we're organizers, right? We want to help other people get into technology and learn programming. And I'm really glad that we get this chance to share this online, even though there's a pandemic. We're able to do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that too. And I think we have more reach as well since it's an online event, so people can like replay the videos and such to check in. Also for people who are like me who are very like introverted, I think this one is a good excuse to not socialize with a lot of people because sometimes like the anxiety of it is really like different to for different people. So yeah.
Thank you, guys. Now let's proceed to another question. This actually, I'm just actually choosing from the like the cheat sheet that I have, but I do like this one since um Women Tech Makers was actually started because we want to promote diversity and inclusion, and then get someone up, especially if they're from the underrepresented group. I want to know, like, in your careers, or this is more targeted to women in tech. But Dave, if you have like similar experience, feel free to share it. Like, have you ever felt that you need to prove yourself or to really study hard and to perform to a specific standard? And you can also share something that it might be personal in your job or in your day-to-day activities. And if you know a similar story from an underrepresented group, you can share it without like sharing the actual person's name if they're not really open to sharing it.
I'll start. Okay.
I love that, Dave.
Well, in our company recently, we I experienced how divisive our company. Um, Previously, we have two different departments. We have the NOC support and OC support department, and which is most of it are um, graduated from ECE, Electronics Communication Engineer, and we have the LNP department, which is local number porting department. So when I say that our company is divisive, because the NOC support department was mostly male. No, all of them are male. And then the LNP department are all female. But there's this girl from LNP department who really took the courage to tell the manager or the supervisor of the NOC support department that she really wanted to be on a support team, and and then they gave her the chance to not really to prove herself, but they give her the chance to really work what she really wanted. And by that time, our company is has opened and more inclusive right now. So the NOC support has already three female employees, and the LNP support has also had a male employee. So I think that sometimes a company would impose a rule or a category, maybe depending on what they really like or what they prefer to have as an employee. But sometimes, if you are willing to really work on what you really wanted, even though that you're not part of that category, you can still work on what you really wanted to do. There is
Thank
my
you, Dave.
story.
Thanks, Dave. Kim, Franche, do you have like stories like that, or um, you know
Yeah.
other things to share?
Fortunately, in my company now, like everyone, it's like a very diverse company, and we don't have any like discrimination. Actually, have two male developers and two female developers. I think that's pretty cool. So I don't feel the need to prove myself because I think like the code will speak for itself too. So but on my previous company, I was actually a team lead for a very male dominant team. Like most of them are male. I think just one is female. So that was very hard because sometimes people um, like you have it's not that they meant to do it, but you have to make sure that your voice is heard, that your opinion is valid. So you have to voice out your opinions as well, and it matters what you say. Like It doesn't really have to be because you're female. Just because you're a team lead, you have to be like the boss and just make sure that you get your shit done. So sorry
Yeah,
for the word,
bleep, bleep.
but sorry, but yeah, but sometimes I just felt that I have to voice out my opinions, and sometimes I have that imposter syndrome as well. Like, is my opinion really valid, or are they doubting me because like I'm the first female lead from the team? So sometimes we have that, but we just have to make sure that we voice out our opinions, or we make sure that we are heard, and we just set a good example, or just show what we can do. Like, we women can code. Like, just check out our projects, check out our GitHub projects or something. So yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Franche.
All
Fun
right.
fact:
So
you and I are from the same company, so like, yeah. Do we
yes,
have?
but we're not on the same team. But I've met Frances also has been the GDG lead before me. So yeah. um. So on my part, um, other than uh, I I am part of like a really nice company in terms of like we are very diverse and very open with each other, and we don't feel like we're judged, but nonetheless, I will mention I have ADHD as well, because um, I don't say that to gain sympathy from people. I'm very vocal about it because I want people to be aware that even though we have these uh, disorders, or maybe for others disabilities, we can still do great things. So in my part, because of that, of me having ADHD, um, I felt the need to work longer hours, because my focus isn't as good as a neurotypical brain, or like the normal brain. So um, there's always been imposter syndrome, and the feel the need for me to like excel at different things, so that I felt like I was taken seriously, um even though people did take me seriously. I still felt the need to like step it up because of that. So I think that's what I can say.
Thank you, Franche, and thank you, Kim and Dave, for sharing your stories. Um, I also just want to give a quick shout out to the people who commented, like, "Hi, Justin. Hi, Van. Hi, Darren. Go, Dave, and Rochelle." Like, you have a lot of supporters, and Jack as well. So hi, and I'll
Hi.
answer one question from our audience. What random stranger from this is from YouTube? What random stranger has had the biggest impact on your life? Because it's like this is a fun question. Like, I got you thinking. Like, do you have a random stranger who had the impact? I'll give you like 2 minutes probably to think. Miss Universe starts now. And with this, I just want to thank our sponsors, Accenture Philippines, for co-presenting this event, and of course in cooperation with Interview Solutions Incorporated and powered by Google. Also supported by Developer Student Clubs USTP and One Alive PH. Do we have an answer na ba?
Well, I don't really know any random person because
Mhm.
I'm so friendly. Like
Or
I know
maybe,
everybody.
maybe not
So I,
random. How about that, like a tech person that you don't know? Like someone, like for example, you can say, oh, you just read this person's bio, like oh, you say Bill Gates, like that's a random person, but like,
mhm.
yeah, like someone who is not really that famous, but you have sort of like low key stalked their lives, and then like, like yeah, like either I want to be like them or I don't want to. Like they had a big impact.
Actually have one. He's very like a stranger kind of, but um, like Because his name is actually August, and I think he's in the audience right now. And
Oh,
every GDG event, every WTM event, he's there to support and is very active in the community. So I really admire like the resilience, the tenacity is just going through every event and just listening, like really listening, taking down notes and asking questions. I really admire that, and it's very lovely to see someone that active, and it gives you hope that there are also other people, that it's not just like you randomly talking, it's not just you just trying to make sense out of the event, but they really see what you're trying to do and they really feel that you're trying to help the community. So he has made a big impact, especially in our community in GDG Baguio. So I'm very thankful to him. And I think Van knows him well. And everyone actually in the GDG community knows him well. So yeah, he's like one of the random strangers I think that has made a big impact. Yeah.
yes. Thank you. And to thank you to everyone who continues to support GDG events. Like, you are our heart and soul. Like, I think we won't be a community without the participants. So keep on coming, give us feedback, join us in our events. How about you, Frenchie? Do you have a random stranger in mind?
I have a very bad memory, so um, but um, I'll just think of like someone like a well-known person. Maybe it's kind of controversial, but I really like the work of Elon Musk on how he's like innovating a lot of things. Like he's a very forward thinker, although sometimes he has controversial tweets. But in terms of like innovation and technology and the future, I really aspire to be someone like him as well. So I guess that's my random stranger person. Yeah.
Thanks, Frenchie. Dave,
Yeah, wala talaga.
you don't have a random stranger.
Yeah.
Diba? You're so friendly. Okay, so we have a couple of minutes left before we end this session. I just want to ask this one. It's very important. What does International Women's Day mean to you? The Miss Universe number two question. Diba? Do we have... How
Um,
about you, Dave? Oh, you already have an answer, Frenchie?
yeah. It's just a short answer. I think it's all about visibility, of the women in tech, as well as a celebration of what all all of them can do, and I think that's a beautiful thing. That's it.
Yeah, true, true. Thanks, Frenchie. Dave, I will ask
Okay.
you, Dave. Like, what does International Women's Day mean to you? Not like you, because you are an ally
I'm
of
not a
women
woman.
techmakers.
I'm not a woman, but
Yes, yes.
well, basically the main goal of International Women's Day is to celebrate women with their achievements, either in their life or in their career. But I also believe that IWD is a reminder for every woman to be strong, independent, and empowered. IWD is to encourage every woman to stand what they think it's right or
Mm.
what they really believe. Um, because success is not based on gender. Everyone is has the ability to become greater.
Thank you, Dave. Success is not about gender. Everyone has the ability to become
Greater.
what's the greater,
Yeah.
I love it. See, Kim, to close it.
I think International Women's Day is like is a time to reflect on our like progress made by women and to call for change and to celebrate the acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played like extraordinary role in the history or in the like different countries and different communities and have shown resilience throughout, like especially during this pandemic. Like we know that women have goes through the different challenges right now. So I think it's time to celebrate them, and it's time to show that we have like the courage to create.
Thank you, Kim. And like this is my final na. I think my timekeeper told me na time's up. But I just really want to ask this question. If you can describe your career in tech in one word, or that word should also be an advice to the audience watching right now, what would it be? Like one word that embodies you, your career, and also like an advice to other people.
Hmm. I think one word would be magical.
Magical.
'Cause- yeah, because actually I feel like I'm a wizard sometimes when I code. It's like typing a simple script or just writing a simple code, and then you see it running on your UI is very magical. Like, wow, I did this. So yeah, I think it's magical. Like, I feel like I am a magician. Like, who doesn't want to work as a magician? So yeah, I think that's one word, magical.
Thank you, Kim. Dave or Franche, what one word?
Okay, for me, I think it's crazy.
Crazy. Well, that escalated quickly.
That's
I, um, for the past 4 years, I work as a graphic artist, graphic designer for marketing and sales. Um, but it's a big leap for me to work as a QA because for for my past experience, I'm really that I'm too far from immersing myself in uh, tech related work. So for me, being right now training for QA is a really crazy experience. Um, I had inhibitions at first, but I'm loving what I'm really doing right now. So it's crazy and it's fun, and I'm happy.
Thank you, Dave. Three words yan ha. May,
Yeah,
may
may
additional.
pa-bonus. Plus points ba
Okay.
yan?
Franche.
I would say mine is adventurous because working in tech you get to pick different fields and choose your own path. So it's kind of like an adventure book where you like figure out what you want to do now, and then in the next 5 years you might want to do something else, and there's gonna be new work, new jobs that could come out of the advancement of technology. So I'm excited for the future of what how's that gonna be for me. And in that sense, I think it's also a reminder that we should always keep learning and keep us up to date.
Yes. Thank you. And this wraps up the Women Tech Makers Fireside Chat. And then before you transition us, I just want to take a quick photo because all the women tech makers, that smile, everyone. Okay, I'll take the screenshot. One, two, three, smile. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you will continue joining us in the next couple of sessions. The next part of the show will be a quiz. So we will be we're giving prizes to those who can answer awesome tech questions that we have prepared for you. And thank you again, Franche, Kim, and Dave from Bacolod, Baguio, and Cebu. We'll see you later in our virtual after party. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. Hi everyone, ako pa rin, nagbabalik. So this part of the session is both a private one, as I mentioned earlier, the I Am Remarkable, and of course uh, the quizzes contest. So I will be sharing my screen, but before that, I also want to invite you. I think we can still accept last minute I Am Remarkable registrations. um, the form has been posted in any of the Women Tech Makers chapters and you can join that. So I'd like to thank our women tech makers from Bacolod, Cebu, and Baguio for joining us. I hope you learned a lot. And for this, I will be transitioning to I Am Remarkable. So yeah, I think they have started with I Am Remarkable. So we will go into the games portion. Are you ready? Diba? This is actually the sad part about virtual events because I cannot hear the people say woohoo. Like I am alone here in my bedroom and then like I will be cheering for myself. So guys, if you're there still watching this stream, please comment down below and then I say hi, where are you from? Or at least I say hi, it's game time. Yay. Okay, someone has posted, so thank you. But yeah, we will be having a quiz trivia game, and the winner of this will receive an awesome prize courtesy of the Women Tech Makers here in the Philippines. So I'm actually not sure what the prize is, but I know it's awesome. So you just look out to the session for the comment section for the updated price. So let me share my screen. I hope I know this. Um I will give like a minute to wait. I'm actually trying to transition. One moment. And before while this is going on, I just want to give a quick shout out to all our chapters who've come together today and celebrated the International Women's Day in the Philippines. GDG Bacolod, GDG Baguio. Sorry, Women Tech Makers Baguio. Women Tech Makers Cebu, Women Tech Makers Bacolod, CDO, Manila, Zamboanga, and of course Google for sponsoring us today. And if you're wondering if you're from Track 1, you can join the Track 2 version of this and join the quizzes presentation. But you need to register on this link. So tech people, you can transition now. Ayon. Can you see my screen? I actually don't know if you can see my screen, but I am hoping that you can see my screen and my face still. So I will be starting the quiz around 2:30. Please join. Just go to quizzes.com, like QUIZZ.com. Diba? Tongue twister. And you enter the game code 501537. Last 2 minutes before I proceed with the games. And I also want to give a quick shout out to all the people who made this event possible, from the Women Tech Makers chapters to the sponsors to the media partners and to you at home joining us today. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being with us, because it's a Saturday, like it should be siesta time. So it's what a good way to start or end the day, learning something and meeting someone new. Okay, we have 12 participants. I will cap this at 2:30. You can still join halfway of the event, but yeah, join. Awesome prizes will be given away to the lucky winner of this. So this is actually together with the I Am Remarkable session. So yeah, for those who are not familiar with I Am Remarkable, it's actually an amazing session that promotes, that is enabling people to practice self promotion in their jobs, in their school, or even in their daily lives. So we give you practices, and also we look into the study and like why self promotion is so difficult, and like what can we do to practice that, and what can we achieve if we have that ability. So time check, it is 2:30 p.m. Let's start. I will start the game. The International Women's Day 21 PH gameplay. Let's start. Okay, so what is our theme for today's event? What is our theme for today's event? Is it Courage to Create, Courage and Create, IWD21 PH, or IWD 2021 PH? Ano ba? Still have 7 remaining people, and time's up. We have top 5 people. What does Women Tech Makers, sorry, what does WTM stand for? Di ba? Parang, hindi naman yata. Bonus yan. Okay. All done. Wow. Jade is still at number 1. The answer is Women Tech Makers. Diba? Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Are you ready? Who is our keynote speaker today? This morning pala. Is it Josan, Josel, Kathleen, or Lois? You can also comment down your answer below to the comment section if you're not joining, but you can still join using joinmyquiz.com/pro and enter the code 501237. I will end the question. Let's see who is our keynote speaker for this morning. Jade is still number 1. We have Robin Lumalaban at number 4. The answer is Giselle. Attorney Giselle Batapa was our keynote speaker this morning. Next question. What does GDG stand for? Like guys, your points are actually calculated with how fast you type your answer or you select your answer. So yeah, the faster you type, the better. All right, 3, 2, 1. At the answer is it's Google Developer Groups. Ayun, 'di ba? Ang S natin, it's actually confusing. So it's Google Developer Groups. All right. Next question. Google Incorporated was founded in when? in blank. Full question view tayo. Is it on 2000, 1995, 1998, or 1997? Fun fact, yung birth year ko nandyan. If you'll guess it correctly, wala lang. Share ko lang. But yeah, you know you're old when you're like the same age as a company. But yes, let's see if we have the right answer. I actually stopped the timer, guys, because I realized that my stream is not probably lagging to others, so I will disable the time. Okay, I will end the question once I have 50% of the participants who answered. Okay, let's see the results. Jade is still number one with Gwyneth. Number four, the answer is 1998. Well, that's not my age, guys, but yeah, it's actually founded last 1998, and it Google will be celebrating its quick math tayo. It's 24th, 23rd anniversary. Parang it's like more than 20 years na si Google in existence. Let's proceed to the next question. Right. How many WTM chapters collaborated in this year's IWD21 event? Grabe kayo, guys. If you don't know this answer, ibig sabihin, wala, you don't know the answer. Hindi. If you don't know the answer, it means like we haven't done a good job in thinking all of our chapters. So there's actually a lot of chapters here in the Philippines, not just one. We're actually divided into different cities. So if your city does not have a WTM chapter yet, you can contact probably the page and then get one para you can also organize one of these events. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is Jazz is coming in. 6. Oh, everyone got the correct answer. I'm so happy. Everyone got the correct answer. Right, next question. For 1 million, 1 million words. 3, 2, 1. Where is Google's main headquarters? Saan banda ng mundo is Google's, tama ba yung English ko? Where is Google's main headquarters? Where is it located? Is it in Mountain View, California, San Francisco, California, Los Angeles, California, or Sacramento, California? Tip, nasa California. Okay, I think everyone has answered. I will transition to the answer in 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer is Mountain View, California. Yes, that is correct. Every Google I/O since 2018, I think, was held in Mountain View, California. It's also where the headquarters is located. Next question. Who is the current CEO of Google? Is it Larry Page? Is it Sergey Brin, Sundar Pichai, or Scott Hassan? Come on, answer quick, guys. Answer quick. 10 seconds left. Who is the current CEO of Google? And in 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is Sundar Pichai. Like, everyone got that right. Congratulations. Let's proceed to the next question. At what month do we celebrate International Women's Day? Very important question. Is it February and April? Is it March and April? Is it April and June? Is it June and July? 10 seconds left. In 3, 2, 1. At what month do we celebrate International Women's Day? And the correct answer is March and April. So March is actually Women's Month, and we are celebrating International Women's Day until April because right now we are at April and we're celebrating IWD 2021. Next question. Okay, what is Flutter? Flutter. Ano ba yan? Is it A, or wala palang numbers to? Is it a UI software development kit, a model view model front-end JavaScript framework, or is it a TypeScript-based open source web application framework? What is Flutter? All right, last 5 seconds. In 5, 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer is Flutter is a UI software development kit. So at track 1, we actually had a talk about wala pala, React pala yun. But yeah, Flutter is actually a Google tech that you can use, and it is multi-function. You can use it for your websites or in mobile. So if you're interested with Flutter, check out Flutter in Google Developer Tools. Let's proceed to the next question. Women tech makers started since blank. Is it 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015? How old na ba yung women tech makers? I mentioned it kanina sa fireside chat. If you were paying attention, pwede rin hindi kayo mag-pay attention. But yeah, when was women tech makers started? All right, in 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer is tension. The The correct answer is 2012. So Women Tech Makers has been with us for the past 9 years. So a lot of you got it incorrect. It's not in 2015. It's in 2012. Right, next question. Meron pang time to kabol, guys. You can still join myquiz.com/pro and enter the code 501237. Right. The next question is, how many characters did Twitter originally restrict users to? 100, 120, 160, 140. I honestly don't know the answer to this one. I'm not really a tweeter now. I don't tweet a lot. So, yeah, this will be interesting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and the correct answer is it's 140 characters. So half of you got it correctly. Twitter originally restricted users to only tweeting 140 characters per tweet. Today I learned. Right, next question. The parent company of Google is, I've seen a lot of people act fast, Is it Fitbit Incorporated, Looker, Alphabet Incorporated, or Waze? In 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is Alphabet Incorporated. So Larry Page and Sergey Brin are the head chairman, I think, of Alphabet right now, and Sundar Pichai is the CEO of Google. So Alphabet is the parent company of Google. Next question. Maybe it was love, maybe it was tech. Which of the following Fortune 500 companies was started by a woman who wanted to email her husband? Is it IBM or Cisco? You have a 50-50 chance here. And the correct answer is Cisco, guys. The correct answer is Cisco. So, at the time, Sandry Lerner helped found Cisco. She and her husband were working in different buildings on the campus of Stanford University. A desire to be able to communicate between them led to this Fortune 500's founding. Lerner later on went out and found the cosmetics company called Urban Decay. So yes, it is Cisco. And then a lot of us got it incorrect. Let's see the leaderboard after this question. What were the three female African-American mathematicians at NASA who are celebrated in the 2016 film Hidden Figures, known as Within the Space Agency? So what were they called? Computers in skirts, computers in dress. Very confusing question. I actually did not see this movie. I just saw a couple of snippets in Facebook. So I will put this on my watch list to go after this event. 10 seconds left. Five, four, three, two, one. And the correct answer is computers in skirts. So the 2016 Hidden Figures film showed that they were called computers in skirts. So 7 of us got that correct. Up to the next question. Which supermodel is currently spearheading a campaign to get girls to learn coding? Is it Giselle Bundchen, Carly Kloss, Virginia Rometty, or Naomi Campbell? Which supermodel is currently spearheading a campaign to get girls to learn coding? Ten seconds left. And the correct answer is let's check the leaderboard first. So Tech for the win is on first place, Jade second, and the correct answer is Carly Kloss. So Carly Kloss actually started like this initiative because she wanted to have a campaign to girls learn to code. Sorry, I think my código was not functioning well, so I'm sorry for that bad description. But yes, 7 of us got that correctly. We're down to our last 6 questions. Again, the key to winning this is speed plus accuracy. So let's start the next question. The British Victorian era mathematician Ada Lovelace is widely considered the founder of computing science and the first computer programmer. She worked with the mathematician Charles Babbage on his calculating machines. Who called her blank? What did he call her? The enchantress of numbers or the enchantress of letters? Last 10 seconds. Three, two, one. And the correct answer is enchantress of numbers. So everyone got the correct answer. Next question. Which of the companies was created by the first founder to intentionally be a disruptor in the creative space? Is it A, Rocketune, B, Canva, or C, Stencil? Come on, guys. Which of these companies was created by its first its female founder to intentionally be a disruptor in the creative space? I just got news that the winner of this quiz me will be receiving a voucher. So awesome, guys. The top three will receive 100 pesos worth of gift cards or e-vouchers. I should really join one of these, no? Not hosted. All right, in three, two, one. And the correct answer is Canva. So Canva is an amazing tool that I personally use. So Canva is was created by Melanie Perkins from Australia with the goal of allowing the average Joe or Josephine to design their own high quality professional looking graphics. Today, Canva, headquartered in Australia, is used by millions for everything from social media graphics to book covers or even to videos. So, Melanie Perkins is actually one of the youngest millionaires in Australia. So, her story is actually also amazing. Next question. Which of these female founded online dating platforms lets women take charge in their relationship? Is it A, Bumble, or B, Meetup? Very difficult question. 10 seconds left. In three, two, one. And the correct answer is Bumble. So, to those who are not familiar with it, it's actually a spin off of Tinder, which was founded by Whitney Wolf. And she also helped to create differs from your typical dating platform. Wolf left Tinder, so she was both present in two dating platforms to create Bumble and put the power of the dating experience reaching out to chat in the hands of its female users. Meetup is actually a community based group invitation platform, so it's not a dating app. Next question. This former teacher took education seriously, founding a company that helps kids learn how to code and develop apps. What is its name? Is it A, Udemy, or B, Hopscotch? 10 seconds left. In three, two, one. And the correct answer is it's called hopscotch. So Hopscotch is an online platform designed to help kids get interested in building games and not just playing them. Created by former education Jocelyn Livet, the platform is geared towards students in 5th through 8th grades. Last couple of questions. Which of these companies was created by a woman to help alleviate the burden of household chores? Ano yan? Is it Thumbtack or Task Rabbit? In 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer is it's called Task Rabbit. So Task Rabbit was designed by Leah Bushke or Bush to help create tasks that needed doing with people who are willing to do them. Today, you can log on to the site and describe the job you have or registered to become a tasker. Next question. We're down to our last question, guys. This is do or die. Okay. The woman behind this business took it from a cheap domain name to a company worth 1.5 billion. What company is this? Is it Coursera or lynda.com? Actually, I gave this and I like contributed this question. I was mind blown like what it is now. So, yeah, interesting. 10 seconds left. This is our last question. But of course, if you don't win this, you will also get a chance to win if you share your story. So make sure to check out the Courage to Create contest. And of course, join our social media contest with the hashtag IWD, hashtag GDG, hashtag WTM, hashtag IWD21 or hashtag IW2021. And you will get to win raffles such as vouchers, share treats, Grab, or Food Panda, and of course the Google Home Mini. 10 seconds left. And to those who are wondering what a Google Home Mini looks like it's this. You can use it as a speaker or connect it to your Google account and then control smart lights, smart devices, or even your TV if you have that enabled, and connect to your Google account to give you appointments or use it as an assistant to remind you of your schedule, your alarms, etc. So, yeah, register to win. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Moment of truth. What is this company? And the correct answer is Lynda. It's lynda.com. So Lynda is actually founded by Linda Weinman. She co-founded it with her husband in 1995, and it was and continues to be a repository of videos and tutorials on tech related subjects. It was acquired by LinkedIn in 2015 and is slowly being rebranded to LinkedIn Learning, which is actually awesome. Like a lot of people, I like LinkedIn Learning. Yeah, like if you haven't checked that out, check out LinkedIn Learning. It's like YouTube for tech stuff. So check it out. And let's proceed to our memorable next question. This is the last question. Do you want to end the quiz? Yes, I will end it. And we will post the winners next after this, I hope. And the winner is Jasmine. Tech for the win. And Jade, congratulations to our winners. Ayon, we have now our top three. Jade, Tech for the win, and Jasmine. Congratulations. If you you will be contacted by the Women Tech Makers organizers to claim your prize. So thank you so much. Now I will stop sharing my screen where I can proceed to talking to you more about our next session. Let me stop sharing. Ayon. Okay. We have people commenting, link. All right. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed that quick game that we had. Congratulations to all our winners, Jade and Jasmine and Tech for the win. Not sure if you're an organizer Tech for the win, but congratulations. So we will take a 10-minute break after this. So again, I just want to remind you that we still have a lot of contests and items to give away. So you still have a chance to win a Google Home Mini, share treats and grab or Food Panda vouchers. And just make sure to join the survey form at bit.ly/CenterSurvey2021. Use our official hashtags IWD, GDGWTM, Courage to Create, and IWD21. And of course, our Courage to Create stories. Tag us. And of course, we will see you in 10 minutes. We'll take a quick break. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Hi everyone, and we're back. I hope you enjoyed our very quick quiz me contest earlier. And let's proceed to our next speaker. So our next speaker will be talking about beginner friendly introduction to React JS. It's one of the trending or like I think famous languages right now. So I think if you look forward to this talk, you will learn a lot. So she's actually a business applications developer, a Syntactis Pink organizer, and she says she's a student in her entire life because she loves learning. When she's not coding, she can be found in the bed snoring, probably dreaming of bug fixes. Amen. Here to talk about React JS, let's welcome Miss Hazel Joy Alegbalea from Syntactics Inc.
So thank you so much, and I'd also like to thank GDG and Women Tech Makers for making this possible and for inviting me to share something that I learned. So I hope that you learned something today from me. So a quick overview. So I've been in the industry for almost about 2 years now, and although there's still a lot to learn, yes, because pursuing a career in development in our field is also like signing up to a never-ending learning journey, which is good. Yes, it is good because it keeps our mind sharp and all. So uh, it shapes our growth not just in our career but also in our life as well. So off of that, so this afternoon I will be talking about a beginner-friendly introduction to React JS. So for those of you who aren't familiar with React or is just starting to learn React just like myself, so I hope that by the end of this presentation, you'll be able to understand the fundamental concepts of React and will encourage you to dive into the world of React. So let's get started. So we will be following this agenda. So we will be talking about what is React JS, what is its main concepts, and getting started with React JS. So for everything else, before the hows, before the whys, so we will be starting with what is React, who created React, and when was it first released, and so on. So so React JS, it is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So, in case you didn't know, the developers community has been discussing whether in which category does React really falls into. So, some developers say it's a framework because of its intensive amount of support. It also has a lot of plugins and extensions available. So, available. So if you are wondering what's the difference between a library and a framework, so when you say library, it is a set of reusable functions that you are in full control as to when you'd like to call a certain functions and tweak its configurations. And whereas the framework, it often usually follows a convention rather than configuration, and it immerses you to follow its workflow. So I think it might help to share with you all this good analogy that I have read somewhere in an article. It is comparing library and framework using a cake. So let's say it is your birthday, so you want to have a cake on your birthday. So in a library perspective, you'd want to create the cake from scratch. So first thing you'll need is the ingredients. So in order to have the ingredients, you'll go into the store, purchase the ingredients you like, specific ingredients you like. So after gathering the ingredients, you get back, start the baking, which is the process. And in this case, it is the store that we consider as the library. So we go into the library, pick up some tools, pick up some functions that we'd like to use in our program, and that's how we start making and developing the program. In a framework perspective, um, you still want to have that cake, but in a different configuration. You'd go to a baker. You'd ask the baker you'd like to have some cherries on top, some whipped cream, and then additional configurations on your cake. And then by the end of it, you'll have your cake on you. So that's like the difference on how you use the library and the framework. So I hope that clears that React isn't really a framework, but it is a JavaScript library according to reactjs.org itself. So, as for the history, React was created by Facebook in 2011 for their own use. So as we all know, Facebook is one of the most used applications in globally. So they have created a technology to create their own apps. And by 2012, Instagram started using React as well because Instagram is a subsidiary of Facebook. And then by 2013, React have made um, Facebook have made React open source and available to the public. And then at first, the developers weren't very welcoming because of its markup and JavaScript in a single file. So also its component-centric approach that wasn't really a thing for developers back then. But it, as soon as they started discovering or understanding how it solves some concerns, then they started to embrace it and used it, and then from then on the community of React has been growing steadily. And then by 2015, Facebook has made React Native, which is the library for building native mobile apps for Android and iOS. So they have made React Native open source by 2015, and then so on. React has been emerging and has been the most used and most loved JavaScript library. So one of React's most famous quote is that they say that learn once, write everywhere. So learn React once, and you'll be able to write everywhere. So why? Why does it say you have to learn it once? So and also why React JS? So React JS is flexible. Yes, they mean it when they say that you have to learn it once and then you can write everywhere, because React.js allows you to create web applications using React.js. Um, you can also create mobile applications using React Native, and even desktop applications using Electrons. So that is very versatile for React. So um, so that's what they mean when they said learn once and write everywhere. So next, developer experience. So developer experience is as important as user experience. So uh, so we might consider developers as users as well. So their experience is as vital as users. So developers need to have confidence in the tools and technologies they use, in the SDKs they use, the frameworks they use. So it is important to prioritize the developer experience in the development. So what React offers is a rapid development. It has extensive amount of extensions, plugins available, and support available in the internet already. So its community. It also allows you, and it also shows you how to use vanilla JavaScript in a React way. So this is one of the features of React, to merge the markup and the logic in a single file. So It also offers a Create React app package where you can comfortably get started with React in a single line you can run on CMD. We will be talking about that more later. And then next is React has great resources. So from then on that it has been made open source by Facebook, React's community has been growing steadily. And then um, I can say that having great resources is really an advantage for us developers because we get to ask questions from the community. We get to ask help because it's not that all the time we have all the answers. So it's never wrong to ask for help, especially when you're just learning. And then um, it is asking help from others that helps you learn better also in your path. um Next we have performance. So React also offers great performance because React uses virtual DOM instead of an actual DOM. So it minimizes the changes of an actual DOM using states. So we will be talking more about states and props and all that later on the next slides. So yeah, so to sum it up, React is flexible. It has great developer experience. It has great resources and great performance. So next, we will be talking about its main concepts. So starting off with JSX. So you might have heard or might not have heard JSX, but JSX is a JavaScript extension that gives your JavaScript code an HTML look. So an example in here is this it's this declaration of an element, constant element, has a value of h1 hello world. So instead of React believes that instead of artificially separating technologies by putting the markup and the logic in a different file, so React separates concern with components. So using components that combines both, that contains both. So a component is composed of JavaScript and HTML. So and then we also have another example here. This is the same declaration in this example, but has a class name. So I want you to remember when using JSX, since JSX is closer to JavaScript than HTML, it uses camel case naming convention. So that's why a simple class in the HTML attribute becomes class name with a capital N. So yes, and then next we have components and elements. So these two are the building blocks of React app. So when you say a component, it is a plain JavaScript function which takes a prop as an argument and returns a React element. So we will be talking about prop later on. And then we have an element that describes what you want to see on the screen. So an example also of an element is what we have here in the previous slide. So we declared an element named and it has the value of h1. So you might be confused between a component and an element. So a component it returns an element, and then elements are what are components made of. So they're not really uh, similar in ways. And then components also have types. It has a function and class component. We have an example here of a function component, function welcome, that receives an argument props that returns an element and hello world, a hello, and then the prop that is being passed on. And the second example we have here class class component. Class welcome extends React component. It renders and return the component hello. The same thing same thing that this first example is returning. So although our class is a bit longer than the function type, but they just return the same thing. Okay. Next, we have props and states. So you might have heard in the previous slides about props and states. So in here we have prop is a shorthand for properties. It can be used to pass data to different components. So just like what we did here in our example, so we have passed a prop argument in our welcome component. You can see, okay, states are objects that store your components data. So another point to remember are immutable. So meaning they cannot be changed. Whereas state is immutable data. So you can always update the state whenever you want to. So we have here an example of props and state being used in a class component. So we have here class and React component. So we have a constructor that 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 has an argument for our props, and then we have declared here a state with a value object of date, new date with its new date, and then it returns uh, an each one element, hello world, and it is with this, and then you have noticed that we enclose calling these state calling this state we hear from above, we enclose it with brackets. So this is how you call variables and other logical expressions in JSX. So you enclose it with brackets, and then you can call the variables and the logical expressions inside this bracket. So next, we have basic hooks. So React hooks are inbuilt functions that allows to use state and lifecycle methods inside functional components. So it is noted here that it can be used in functional components because hooks don't work inside classes. So these hooks have um, uh, equivalent hooks on these hooks have equivalent on the class class components which I will be showing later. So we have here an example hooks use state and use effect. So there are still a lot of other hooks out there, but this time for this example I will be talking about use state and use effect only. For whenever you feel like you're confident enough to know the other hooks, and then you have mastered this use state and use effect, then I guess you'll just go and um uh learn it, because it is very important and very helpful on your applications. So use state is a new way to use the exact same capabilities that this state that provides in a class. So as you have noticed slides, we declare the state in a class component as this state. So that's the same thing with using use state in a function component. So here it declares state variable to preserve some values. So use state returns a pair of values, the current state and the function that updates it. So whatever value you put into the use state, it will be the initial value of the variable you have declared. So it has a pair of values. So we have here an example of count and set count. So whenever I use the variable count, it will always return the value that has been added here in the use state. So for this example, we have 0. Whenever I use the count, it will always return 0 unless I use the set count, which is the function that updates it. So whenever I call the set count and I put set count 1, so it updates value from 0 to 1. And next, we have a use effect. So in class components, we put side effects on into component update. So I guess you're familiar with component did mount and component did update since it is being used by another other frameworks, but it acts the same as use effect. As use effect as React, components needs to do something after render. Whenever your DOM update is done, React will remember the function that you passed on the use effect, and it will perform whatever that function you put into that after the DOM updates. So an example here is a function example. So we have here a constant count, like the example we had earlier. So count and set count to state with a value of 0. So we have called here a use effect that updates the document title to this string. So you click count times. So the value of count here, since we haven't used the set count, it will always return 0. So this um this this document that title will always be updated whenever the DOM updates has been done rendering. So I and then we started with getting started with React. So there's nothing better than actually getting your hands dirty by actually trying how these things work. So we will be proceeding with a demonstration that I have prepared for you to see how it is really used in the code. So be sharing my screen. Uh, Before that, I'd like to introduce you Create React App Package. So this is a very great tool that helps developers get started with React in a very comfortable environment, in a very comfortable way. So if you're familiar with npm and all, you'll just run this code. So npx create React app like your app to have, and then you change the directory to that app you have just created, and then you just have to input npm start to see the changes in your applications. So I hope that you can see my screen now. So this is an example of an app that has been generated through Create React App. So in here, we have this files that has been generated already. So we have app.css, app.js, app.test, but we'll talk about the app.js, which is the uh, main main file for our application. We have here an example of an object. So we have an object that contains a title with string that says IWD21 intro to React.js. So this is an example of an that we will be going to pass onto the login component. So we called login component using here. So we import login from login.js. So we passed this object component. So this is now accepted the props for login.js. So in here, you can see that we received the object in here as props. And then we have an example. We also have an example here for um, for the use state. So we have here a variable CMP name and set CMP name. So we set its initial value to login component, and then we update that. So every time the component has been rendered, so we update the login component. We update the CMP name into login component 2, and every time it is being rendered, the DOM has been changed. We will be displaying this on the log, the whatever the string value. We also have here an example of an element of an component. So I have here prepared a simple form example. So we have so this form is actually a bootstrap component. So I have imported bootstrap and utilized it. So we have an example here of a input name and an input text type and a some login button. So let's see how it looks. So let's see how it looks. We just added some event on submit here. So whenever we submit, so it's pretty easy to add functions on the events. Just you just always remember to include it with brackets, and you can call whatever function you created in here. So that's it. So we have on submit. So whenever we click this button, we will be uh, we will be we will be displaying this button is clicked on the logs. I have here prepared the directory for the app that I have created. So we just npm start and then wait for it to show. So this is a very quick demonstration of how it looks like on the code because it is never not enough. We don't have enough time to explore and discuss it one by one. So I hope that you would like to try this on your own there if you find it interesting. So in here, the app is starting. So yes, we have here. This is our element. The value is this. The value of this string was passed up. So if you can remember, we have it here. Have it here. The act with its title IWD21 Intro to React.js. So um, so we passed on. So accepting the value from props, we pass it on to this element named title. This component, it is a component. This component named title. So we have its value, get its value from the props. So from the props, that object and title. So their ID IWD21. And then we call this component here. So this is where this IWD is from. IWD is from. And then the form. So we have here a username. So this is how you use um components. So uh, you add your properties in here, and then whenever we submit this button, we expect to have see a log on the console. That button is clicked from the component name, which is the value of our component name should be this login component too, because we updated it when the DOM updates. So yes, we have here is clicked from login component. So So I hope you've had a glimpse of how it is used, this code, and yeah. So return to my screen. And I'd just like to leave this that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. To be great. So that's it. So thank you, and you can contact me if you have concerns or anything through this email, and that's it. Hi.
Hello, sorry. Yes, I am on mute pala. Okay. I was
Hi.
talking. One can hear me. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me that I was on mute. Okay. So, yeah, I was saying that React is so interesting. I'll read more about it later. And then we also have some questions from the audience, but because of time constraints, we'll only get to answer one from Justin August. I hope that is your correct name. He said, "When is the most appropriate to implement React for your web project from your perspective? So when should you use React for your project now?"
Okay, thank you. So, it is nice to use React whenever you have you'd like to implement it with great UI because it really works well with UI since it has JSX, and then it would be easier for you to mix your logic and your markup in a single file, so you won't have that much of a trouble to switching between different files for editing your code.
Thank you, Hazel, and I hope that answered your question, Justin. And I think we have a couple of questions at the comment section. Hazel, if you can look at it later and answer it.
Right.
And before I let you go, I just want to say thank you for being with us today. And I missed to ask this from our earlier speakers later, but can you smile for a screenshot? I will take it from my end.
Sure, sure.
One, two, three. All right. Thank you
Okay.
so much,
Right.
Hazel.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Bye.
much.
All right. So we're back. Okay, I'm back. But I'm back, and we are down to our last session of the day. We're almost done, and this one is actually, and I actually like this title. I'm so interested what the talk is all about. Our next speaker will talk about your goals are not on hold. So this actually focuses on the unequal impact of the global pandemic to women, with the impact of the pandemic expected to be gender timeline back to another 51 years. So this impact will be until 2171. We will discuss how each individual can help prevent this impact. Our next speaker is the Associate Director of Accenture, Accent of Technology, Women Lead for Accenture in the Philippines, and Scaled Agile Program Consultant. Let's welcome our next speaker, Renee Santos from Accenture.
Hey everybody, I hope you can hear me. I seem to be having some audio issues. Can you guys hear me okay, Francis? Thanks so much for having me here today. Perfect. All right, everybody. I know you're kind of curious, and I didn't mean to make this topic a bit more cryptic, but let me start with taking you back to 2019. What was happening in 2019? Well, our most favorite series of movies was ending, and everybody was upset that there was no end teaser credits to the last Avengers Endgame movie, right? Remember that? That was so long ago. And let's be honest, in 2019, what was the biggest irritant that you have for the day? Well, it's traffic, right? Do you remember traffic? I do. I don't miss it. But at that time, when you looked to the world, you looked at it with so much possibilities, right? Maybe you were thinking, ooh, I'm going to have this new business I'm going to pick up. I have, or maybe because you have a day job, you're going to have a side hustle. I was thinking that myself. Or even saying that, hey, I'm going to work on my promotion this year, or maybe at least get a raise, right? That was 2019. Then 2020 rolled in, and what happened in 2020? The first thing was that the Al volcano erupted, right? Thank God it didn't progress as much as we were worried about. But then around that time, all of us started to hear the word pandemic. Pandemic? That's just a word that you probably heard of when you were in college. And you don't really even know that it can impact your day to day life. So you went ahead, you were watching the news a little bit, and then March rolls around, and all of us around the world was told a pandemic is something that hits all countries in the world. Stay at home, you're in danger. And so all of us, the good citizens that we are, stayed at home. And the biggest problem of the day was, where am I going to get my toilet paper? Where am I going to get bread? And everyone started to learn how to cook, how to bake. And then all of us thought, well, I hope this quarantine ends soon. April, you can't come soon enough. And then April comes and April goes. And then it's May. And in May, you start thinking, I think that this might take longer than what I expected. And you start worrying about your friends who are starting to get laid off and or are getting sick. And maybe at that point, the last thing that you wanted to do is shine a light on yourself and say, I have this new business idea. I have this new side hustle I want to do. I want to get a promotion or I want to get a raise. Because as women, we grew up thinking we need to take care of everyone else. And so you hide behind the scenes and say, okay, let me put my goals on hold. I'm going to put that on the shelf. Let me take care of everyone else. Now, if that was you, because it certainly was me, then this talk is really for you. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee Santos. I am a programmer. Back in the day, because I've been in the industry for about 18 years now, I would be what you call a full stack developer. We were not called that back in the day. We were just called developer and expected to do everything. I'm also a designer. I'm a functional architect. I'm an integration architect, eventually becoming a project, then program manager. And now I run a global team that help create tools that support the operations of the biggest software and platform companies around the world. And today I'm here because I want to talk to you to maybe convince you to look at those goals again and recommit them this year and actually get it done. Because believe it or not, the fact that because I'm one of them, the fact that we put our dreams on hold is causing the inequality that Francis did the intro on. So before, I go to the meat of my talk, can you guys help a girl out and go to menti.com and type in the number 5811 2010 and share with me what goals did you defer in the last year? Did you have any? And then if you didn't defer any and we need this inspiration, please type goals achieved with an exclamation point because really it deserves an exclamation point. Go do that. Let's go to Menti. Let's see if people are typing in. All right. I hope you guys can access Menti. And let's see if folks are able to get in. All right, so um, voting is open, so hope you guys can see that. All right, it's 5811 2010, and you can put multiple things. Oh, yes, goals achieved. Thank you. Whoever that was, thank you. You are an inspiration to us. Travel goals were kind of put on hold. I know. I was gonna go see my nephew that I have not seen in the last year because I thought, you know what, I'm gonna see you next year, and I couldn't. Going back to the hometown. Ooh, multiple goals achieved. Where's the exclamation point? Come on, guys. Put the exclamation point on there. Yeah, so it's menti.com 5811 2010. So anyone who was trying to get a promotion. Oh, special characters are not allowed. Sorry, Francis is telling me that special characters are not allowed. Find a higher paying job, right? So travel, fitness goals. Me too. Another goals achieved. Ooh, I'm so happy with this. Travel. A lot of people are kind of struggling with travel, finding a high paying job, love life. Yes. Buying a house. Yes. Right? All of these things that you thought you would do and get in the future. So, ooh, a new hobby, going to your hometown, visit the province, um, get a master's degree. Amazing, right? So all these things, yes, we had to put on hold because we had to take care of everybody. So let me kind of pause the voting now. Ooh, and there's so many more. Okay, community in-person event. I missed that too. Um, Okay, so let's get that going, and I'm gonna go back to the talk. So thanks so much for sharing that with me. And it's important because we're gonna go back to that. And I did promise I was gonna connect this, right? The first thing I'm gonna show you guys is the global findings of the unequal impact of COVID-19 for women, because the 1 year that we had to deal with the pandemic did not cause 1 year delay or even a 10-year delay. It's going to be more than that. And Francis teed us up on that later, right? Not only are we delayed, but the last 110 years of progress on equality is at stake. So I'm going to explain the three dots that you see on your screen. The first one, before the pandemic, there was all the companies around the world was saying that if all the companies and the businesses and people commit to getting to equal, we'll actually get there by 2061. Again, this is pre pandemic. If every single business around the world commits to equality, we'll get there by 2061. Um, and even that is a date that's so far ahead, right? Most of the people on this call are going to be senior citizens by then, but still, we could have seen it in our lifetime. But at the rate we were going, even before the pandemic, actually, it was going to take us until 2120. That was 100, that's 100 years in the future. 100 years in the future before the pandemic, the rate we're going. And then last year happened. Where are we now? It's going to take us until 2171 to get equality back on track. That's how big of a problem we have. And that's not in your lifetime or my lifetime. It's not in your daughter's lifetime or even your grandkids' lifetime, right? That's too far in the future. And frankly, it is unacceptable. So at this point, probably that might have shocked you, listening to me right now. But then you're going to think, ooh, that's a scary number, Renee. But I'm just me. How can I help, right? How can I help? I'm just me. Actually, you can. And we'll start with going back to menti.com and answering my second question, which is what do you think is the percentage of unpaid work at home that women do? Meaning, if there's 100 chores, at home, how many of those 100 chores do women do? Okay, so let's see. Let's go to Menti and let's go to the next question. What's the percentage of women's share of unpaid care work hours, whether it's taking care of your parents, taking care of the kids, or even your siblings or other people, taking care of laundry, washing dishes, all these things that all women do. What percentage of work do you think we do? Now, to be fair, I'm not putting in here 100% because I know a lot of men out there who do try and help at home, who do love taking care of their kids. And so I think 100% is unfair. That's why I'm giving you some options. So it looks like the votes are slowly coming in. I have somebody at one saying 31%. Most are saying, 76%. Very interesting. Um, all right. So let me give you another couple of seconds to see if more people will vote. But it looks like overwhelmingly 76 is the number. Okay. Well, okay. Thank you. So another vote came in and it looks like it's still 76. Let's see how true that is, right? That metric is. So let's go back to our slides. And if you look at the lower right, bang on right, it's 76% of the unpaid care work at home. Now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I hope you know her, she's this amazing woman who was a US Supreme Court justice who have been fighting for equality a long time. And she said that women will have achieved true equality when the men share the responsibility of bringing up the next generation with them, right? If both men and women at home take care of things equally. And, it's very true. Let's look at the statistics. Number one, the first one is that of 100 women, only 47 of us actually go into the labor force, even if we're eligible. Not even half of us go to work. Maybe because of the loyalty of wanting to take care of the family at the onset, maybe thinking, I'm not enough, that's not for me, I'm not going to be good at that. Whatever the reason is, not even half of us want to go into work. So at the onset, we're already at a disadvantage. And then you get to the workforce, and the 47% of women who are there, there's a gender pay gap. But in gender pay gap, there's no boogeyman that is oppressing women and saying, I'm only going to give you 77% of what the other guy has. That does not exist, except maybe for some countries who still say that women can't vote, women can't drive. But even those countries are trying to change, right? But even for the liberal countries, even in the US or the Philippines, where, we're pretty vocal and women are out there kind of trying to take charge, but when it comes to asking for that promotion or that raise, women are always, well, I'm not ready. I am not worth it. How am I going to start that conversation? So, this aspect of gender pay gap, I feel, is actually something we can control. There's a lot of things we can't control in this world, but I firmly believe that that one, we can help with that, right? And so if you look at all the metrics below, at the start of it, only 47% of us want to go to work. When you're there, not all of us ask for the raise or the promotion that we deserve. And then I go at home, I'm so tired, right? Because I'm taking care of everything. All of that leads to the metric above, which is really only 18% of the companies are being led by women around the world, right? And that's why the challenge is very hard to get us back to equality. So you would always hear these words, diversity and inclusion. Diversity, if I may explain that, is a game, is a number of games, right? It's a game of numbers. I would always say that, and I heard this from somebody, and I think it's a brilliant anecdote, that diversity is being invited to the party, while inclusion is being invited to dance. That's the difference. We're still working on diversity, but we also have to work on inclusion. And so a lot of these aspects are going to help us, combat equality and maybe not have to see that in the future 150 years from now. So my goal, in showing you those statistics is really to say that, from I don't know how I can help with the 150 years of inequality in the future, with showing you these stats, I hope you can kind of relate to them, because here's where I feel you actually can make a difference, right? So you're asking me now, well, Renee, what can I do? Let's go back to the goals. So in the goals that you had shared with me earlier, you said a lot of people wanted to go travel, find a higher paying job, start a business, build a portfolio, meet my savings goals, buy a car, right? Because a lot of these goals were kind of put on hold it actually contributes directly to those statistics. And I want to be practical today, actually, even if I just have a short time with you guys to kind of help you, go through this. And if by the end of, this discussion, you get pumped up and say, yeah, I want to help equality. I don't want the 150 years. I'm going to help. I'm going to look at my goals and start them on Monday. And then when you get there on Monday, you say, I want a higher paying job. And then you think, can I really do this? Am I really worth a promotion? Then, my friend, what you have is called imposter syndrome. And what's interesting about today is if you were here all day, because I was, and I love the talks today, Lee Shapiro at the very beginning was talking about startup leadership. But even there, she says she has to combat imposter syndrome. And I would encourage you, if you were not able to catch that, to rewind to that because she had some great tips, right? Which I do not want to repeat. I had to update my slides because she was talking about that. And then in the afternoon, I think Kathleen was also talking about in reimagining your career, imposter syndrome is also there, right? So I'm going to give you tips on how to spot it because sometimes, a lot of times, the way to begin healing and to get over imposter syndrome is to acknowledge that you have it. So, things to watch out for. Here's a few things that you may have encountered that is a sign that you, yes, you have imposter syndrome. The first one is saying, I'm not cut out for this job. Have you ever said that? That's imposter syndrome. The next one is, I need to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. While you may think that that's a positive thing, actually, that's going to hurt you in the long run. That's also imposter syndrome. The next one is, I don't know why I have this title. I don't know why I got promoted. I need to work harder. Also, once again, that's imposter syndrome. So you can see kind of this trend, right? And the last one I wanted to share with you is if you are one of those people who had a setback and it takes you months to get over that, you ruminate it for months and months. And I'm going to be honest, for me, it took years because I do set high goals for myself, right? Then it took me a while to get my confidence back. If you are like me, welcome to the club. You have imposter syndrome. And it's going to take me at least an hour actually to explain imposter syndrome. There's 5 types of it, and how to navigate that. But unfortunately, we don't have that time today. But like I said, I want you to start working on your goals tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. So here's a few tips. There's a great book by Claire Jossa. I don't know her. I'm not getting paid for this, but she talks about ditching imposter syndrome. And it's an entire book, right? So there's going to be a lot of learnings there. But I got like the 3 things she said that could be helping you to kick back that habit. The first one is called emergency fixes. Emergency fixes, what does that mean? So I know that when you, because as all of the good women in this call are, right, that when you try to achieve your goals, you actually go out there, you prepare everything, you research, you get this done, prepare. And on the day that you need to show a presentation or you need to ask your boss and convince him that you deserve this raise, actually, suddenly you get your hands going to get clammy, and you have this thought in your head. I don't know if you know the old Safeguard commercial that says the conscientia. It starts talking you, do you really deserve that, right? So you're starting to have that. So an emergency fix is actually quite simple. If you've Have you ever heard of the power pose? The first time I heard about it, so the power pose is you standing up, putting your arms in your waist, closing your eyes, and taking deep breaths for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Don't skip, right? It's needed. The first time I heard about that, I thought it was silly. I thought it was just something that, people do to have a laugh at you. But actually, there's science behind it. Because doing that breathing pose for 2 minutes actually increases your testosterone. Yes, ladies, you also have testosterone. And testosterone is the confidence hormone. It's what increases your confidence, which totally explains why men, it's just easy for them to go out there and say, hey, I deserve this raise, right? They can negotiate clearly. And women don't. It's not their nature, right? So stand up in that pose because it's going to increase your testosterone. And also it's going to lower cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. So, on a day that you're distressed, that can also help, right? And the combination of that, the increase of testosterone, the increase of confidence, the lessening of stress, actually will allow you to go into that meeting and negotiate better, right? Because you're a bit more confident. That's one. The next one is push yourself. So here's the thing about goals. If your goal is not high enough, if you feel like I can achieve easily my goal, I'm good, I can achieve it, then it means, it's not difficult enough what that goal is. Because growing requires a little bit of pain. Remember when you were a kid, you were growing out teeth. All the babies actually have a teether because it's painful, right? As their teeth come out. And when you were a young adult, remember that wisdom tooth that bothered you a lot? Why is it called a wisdom tooth? Because it's a sign of maturity. And unfortunately, maturity comes with a bit of pain. Now, this is not physical pain, but it deals with a lot of your insecurities. It deals with a lot of your mental health stress. And if you have a goal that you're scared of, great. That's a good sign because it means you're pushing yourself and you're growing. Don't 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 let that hold you back. That's a good sign, right? So push yourself. Now, that two together, if you put it in a journal, which is the third advice, and tomorrow, because I trust that you're going to start your goals tomorrow, right? You write it down, put down everything you have in your brain and said, this is where my head is at. I wanted to get that promotion, but I'm afraid to talk to my boss about it. Here's what I feel that I still need to do, and write that down, right? And then start reading and start working on your goals and month on month journal that. And maybe 6 months later, you could see the change, not just in achieving your goals, but the change in your mindset, which is critical here. Have you changed your own mindset? I hope you have, right? At that point. So, with these three things, it's a quick fix to what is imposter syndrome. Um, and that's important because we really need help, right? Again, 150 years is so difficult to think of. It's very scary. And so I'm going to end this talk with a call to action. Remember who you're doing it for. You're not just doing it for yourself. When you ask for a promotion, you're paving the way for someone else to take your role so they can also move up, right? Think about them. And I have two call to actions here. One is to tell yourself, my goals are not on hold. Tomorrow, when you wake up, tell that to yourself, my goals are not on hold. So, how do you do that? Revisit your goals. Think about it. Is it still what I want? Will this still make me happy? Is this really what's going to take me to the next level? And then take up space. What does it mean to take up space? You need to come out of your shell, go in front, talk to your boss, and say, hey, I know my team is great, but so am I. Maybe I deserve a raise. No, not maybe. I deserve a raise. I deserve that promotion. Can you help me achieve my goals, right? Take up space. You deserve it. You belong there in front. You being in front is not disparaging the rest of your team, right? It's actually a compliment to them as well that you are doing really well. And then commit. Put a date to the goal because if you don't put a date to the goal, it's never going to happen. If you start saying the words someday I'll do it, it's not going to be real. It's not going to happen. So commit, put a date, and be accountable for it. I find personally that it helps if I have other people that I talk to. I express that I have a goal. I want to be promoted next year. And because I told someone else, it actually makes me accountable to move to the next level. Um, so that's the first call to action. Tell yourself my goals are not on hold. You've said it 3 times now, so maybe like Beetlejuice, it's going to come true, right? So the next one is actually now tell someone else, my friend, sister, your goals are not on hold. Pass it on, right? Listen to them, empathize with them, share with them as well that you're going through the same journey. You also don't have all the answers, but you're trying. If there's anything that you learned throughout today, and there's so many amazing talks today, I really love this event, right? Pass it on, pay it forward, and also ask them to then pay it forward. And on through all this, be their cheerleader and be their accountability buddy so that they can move forward. Because if tomorrow you start working on your goals and you inspire another woman to work on their goals, it becomes a ripple, which becomes a wave. And together we can turn the tide of equality and get it nearer, right? And the only way we do that is together. So these are my call to actions today. Women Take Makers, thank you so much for inviting me today. It's been my privilege to talk to you. And I'm just joyful to now receive your questions. Francis?
Okay, thanks, Renee. Like I had a lot of points there, from the power pose to the imposter
Listen.
syndrome. Yes, and then the goals that I sort of realized that 50% of my goals were achieved last year. So I feel like yeah, like I feel, I don't know, blessed to have done that. So yeah, I hope everyone else. We are accepting questions. We have a bit of time left, so just jot it down in the questions. I actually have like one, not, I'm not sure if this is a question but a statement. I really like when you say like when you get a promotion, like, you know, it at my initial understanding was like you know, if you get a promotion, like you're the only one who's getting like you know, getting up. But then, you know, you realize that, oh yeah, someone else will take over your role, so he or she might be promoted. So, you know, it's also one way to look at the ladder. Like I think yeah, like, sige, how do you, can we do like a role play? Like how do you say to your employer, like, or like your team lead, like, okay, I think I am ready, how can I be promoted? Because I, based on my understanding, like there's like a schedule for that, or do you apply for that? Yeah, like how does Accenture do that?
Well, in Accenture, we have a cycle twice a year for promotion, and we have what is called performance achievement. That actually, there's no set schedule. Throughout the year, as you achieve your goals, you can go ahead and talk to your mentor about it and say, hey, this is what I did. I have a new goal, right? And, back in the day, it was called performance management. When once a year, you write down everything you did for the year, and then everybody looks at you for promotion. But that doesn't really work because every month or so your goals change, don't they?
Yeah.
And so we changed to performance achievement, and really we called it meaningful conversations, that we encourage people to have meaningful conversations. For the last few years, a lot of us would have 30 like 30 minutes every 30 days. So once a month, you talk with your counselee and ask them, hey, what are your goals and what are your dreams, and can we achieve them together? And unfortunately, the act of applying for a promotion is not something that's inherent to people. So generally, you think, especially women, including me, right? I never ask for promotion. You think it's a good thing. You don't ask for promotion. Ayoko magbuhat ng bangko. It's these mindsets that are kind of interesting for women, but it's not really a bad thing, right? Nobody's going to go there and say, how dare you? Why did you ask for a raise, right? No one's going to come at you, with that. So in Accenture, we're starting to change that mindset. For our people that are moving to a managerial level, actually now we're encouraging them to apply for it,
Mhm.
because when you apply for it and we give them a framework of, tell me about, what you've done in these areas for these types of, did you do some innovation? Did you do this and that? It actually helps them be more confident, say, hey, I can answer these. I have answered these questions. Maybe I am ready for the next level. And they apply. So we are trying to change that mindset for people.
Yeah, just to follow up, because I don't know, I read this study that you know, a lot of women, like, especially not just here in the I'm not sure in the Philippines, but personally, I would have this feeling that if I see a role that I'm not 100% sure that I fit the role, I would not apply. Like I would wait like a couple of years, probably two or
Mm-hmm.
three, or like even try, like give myself time to, like, you know, avoid the risk. Like what's your advice
Mm-hmm.
to people like who think that they are not good enough for that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to start with a statistic. So here's the story of that, right? Um, a man who knows something about 20% will go out there and try to get that job, versus a woman who already knows 80% of the same thing would say, I'm not enough. I'm not an expert. You shudder to think when somebody calls you an expert, you say, no, no, I'm not an expert, but actually you are.
Mhm.
I think it helps for women to understand that, wait, it's not just me. all of us think that way. Because once you hear that you're part of a statistic, then you think, oh, I don't want to be part of a statistic, right? And then you start to learn about why women think that way. And this goes really back to what I said earlier about, us not wanting to shine a light on ourselves, because we're always about taking care of other people, and we don't have enough testosterone to go in there and negotiate and say, hey, I want a raise, right? Men, they won't think twice. If you have a male boss, they would take it as a positive thing that you are looking out for yourself, because if you are looking out for yourself, it means you're going to look after the company and the people after you. So I feel like doing talks like this and showing the statistics like that would actually help women understand that, ooh, it's in my nature. I have
Mm-hmm.
to cultivate it and change to a culture where I should ask, because and I feel like women think that I need to be, more confident. I need to be, I hate this word, aggressive for me to ask for that raise. You don't have to change your personality. I have a lot of friends who are the most soft spoken, kindest person I know. And they confidently go in there and say, hey, these are the things that I've achieved, because they note down the things that they've achieved. And I believe I deserve a raise, or I know I'm ready for the next level. Can you help me achieve my goals, right? Because also you need to ask for help, right? And if, for example, your lead says, I don't think you're ready, then ask, okay, what do I need to do to get ready? And then you work from there, because without even the act of asking, how would you know what to work on, right?
Yeah, I think you just gave us some steps. So first is like,
Hmm.
set your goals, and if you don't know, and then if you think you're ready, ask, and then if they said you're not ready, ask what else do you need. So it always
Hmm.
starts with you asking and then taking the
Yeah.
first step.
Hmm.
Yes.
Tell the universe. It helps when you put it out in the universe that you want something, because the universe will answer back and actually give it to you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Renee. Now we have a couple of questions in the comments. I want them to be included as well. This one is from Van. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, can we start with Neftali Cruz? How do you manage difficult conversations during COVID when the main reason for their challenge is due to family or stress? Wow. Yeah.
Thanks, Nep. So Nep is a dear friend, and he's here supporting me. He's one of, a champion for diversity. Thanks, Nep, for being here. Thanks for giving me a hard question, huh? Lagot ka sa akin mamaya.
Yan yung friends natin.
um, no, but it's a good one, right? So difficult conversations when the main reason for the challenge is due to family or stress. One, always start with empathy, right? This is, and I don't like cliches, but it is unprecedented times, and you always, to me, you are more important than the job. And what I like about my team, and I've always tried to do this across my teams, for example, even if it's not dire, right? Even if it's just I need to go to the PTA and you have a big client meeting, but you want to go to your PTA, I actually encourage my teams to go to the PTA, because your life is more important than this job. And what happens, it creates a culture of taking care of everyone else, that they don't leave their work open. They make sure something's transitioned, that someone can take care of that for them. I can take care of that for them. They can ask me. They know they can ask me. And I actually tell them, don't never ask for permission for vacation leaves. Just take it, because it's your right. Just make sure that you don't leave the team behind and you transition. So it become more responsible, and actually it becomes like a shared responsibility with the team, and they're happier that way, that they can do what they need. And again, in this COVID times, what would happen, right? Will the company fall down? Will I go to jail if they don't show up because they have to take care of their family? Of course not. They're the priority. I will take care if there's a delay in the project. That's on me to talk to my clients and leadership, and create a plan B. I would never force people to go to work, especially if it's about family.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like
Mhm.
um wow, I'm actually a bit speechless because COVID is such a touchy topic that if when you start talking about it, we will probably end tomorrow at 4 p.m. So yeah, it will be a long conversation. Yeah, um, it's something that we have to understand. Like health is a priority, family is a priority. It's just all about balance, and yeah, not leaving the team hanging. So I love that, we are
Mhm.
open to talking about it,
Right.
because, we have to do something in these trying times.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, let's proceed to our next question from Van. What are the goals I need to have? I think the question here is like, is it what kind of goals? Like, is it personal, professional? Like, do I need to have a timeline how to get there? Like,
Uh-huh.
probably this is a goal setting seminar, but yeah, like, if can you share like, what type of goal? What should your
Ooh.
goal look like? Para it will be easier to establish.
Yeah, but goals are different per person, right? If you have a goal, I want, to take, I want to, if you're an entrepreneur, I want to get my, let's say you have a small restaurant, I want to have two more branches, or I want to branch out and get maybe, another type of business. It really depends on what your reality is. But to me, when you start thinking about what the goals are, it really requires, introspection. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Let's say if your goal is personal and you see, I actually want a family, and you want to work on your love life, it doesn't mean that your work goals also have to start, right? They're not mutually exclusive. You can have different goals for different reasons. And there's this, tired old concept about work-life balance, but it's true, right? You do have to balance work and life. You should never just focus on work, which was my problem when I started working in IT. Every single developer has had this story. Remember when it took you 18 hours and it's already 5 a.m.? UAT is on the next day. You're trying to rush and get the code done and get it ready. All of us have had that, right? But because I'm one of those crazy people who want to be 100%, 100% of the time, it actually burnt me out. After 10 years, I quit my job and I only did volunteer work for a year and a half. So really, it can't just be about work goals. It also has to be about life goals. Whether, even if you're single or if you have kids, you have to have both. And if you don't know where to start with what your goals should be, talk to friends, talk to your parents, talk to your colleagues, just to get an idea of that, and cultivate it. Don't expect that you wake up one morning and you know what your goals are. It doesn't work that way. That's too arbitrary. So go out there and explore. Yeah, and then you'll find, you know what your goal is when your heart skips a beat when you think about it.
Thank you, Renee. Like, that is a good advice. Like, you know what your goal is. You just need to look at your heart and you will find it.
Mhm.
Yes, and that is our last question. I just really want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you as well to Accenture for being our co-presenter for Women Tech Makers. Yeah, like, we miss um in-person events, but yeah, I'm
Me
glad that
too.
we still able to do this. Do you have other links that you want to share, or probably other resources that we can probably plug in before we proceed to the main hall to actually end the Women Tech Maker event?
Well,
Yes.
if you want to share my screen again, yeah, you can answer if you're, interested in careers at Accenture. I actually put in their QR code so it's easier. Yeah, thanks for flashing it, Ernell. Yeah, take a picture of that if you're interested. Look at career options. So I know there's like, I think Raj, who's a part of our team here, is also a community leader in Accenture. He's talking about, hey, there's some treat prizes, but sincerely, if you want to look at career options, we have so many different types of openings. I would love to have you as part of Accenture, and chat me up. Let's talk about equality.
Thank you, Renee. And before I let you go, in like, sure, I let's take a group photo, not group photo. Duha lang tayo. So let's get a groupie before I let you go. One, two, three. All right. Thank you so much, Renee, and I hope you enjoy the
Thanks,
rest of your
Francis.
day and weekend. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and that is the last session for this track. In 4:30, or take a couple minutes, we need to come back to the previous session. So the main hall at the GDG, or Women Tech Makers Cebu page. But before I let you go, I just want to remind you again of the contest and surveys and other hashtags that you can join to get awesome prizes and a chance to win a Google Home Mini here that you can bring home. So yes, answer the Accenture survey form and get a chance to win share treats, gift cards, and vouchers. Winners will be announced by email or SMS. So go to bit.ly/Accenture Survey 2021. All the links are found in the description below. Second, we still are having the Courage to Create contest. So if you have an inspiring story or you know someone who has, share that on Facebook and Instagram and tag Women WTM Manila. So we want to hear your Courage to Create stories. Share with us your hashtag Courage to Create story or someone with your community. They create positive change throughout the world. Share that on Facebook and Instagram and share WTM Manila and tag a friend so that they can share their story too. Hashtag Courage to Create and hashtag IWD Philippines 2021. Also, don't forget to share your experience. If you want to post my face here while I'm talking, please don't create a meme about it. But yeah, share your official WTM experience with our hashtags hashtag IWD, hashtag GDG, hashtag WTM, hashtag Courage to Create, and hashtag IWD21. We have last remaining minutes before we announce the winners. And I also want to thank the people who made this possible. Number one, the WTM chapters Bacolod, Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, Manila, Zamboanga. And of course, this is powered by Google, co-presented by Accenture Philippines in cooperation with Interview Solutions Incorporated and our media partners, Developer Student Clubs, USTP, and What a Life PH. These are the prizes that you will get by the end of the day. If you're lucky, first, a Google Home Mini, 100 peso Grab or Food Panda voucher, 200 Grab Food Panda voucher, and for the people in Mindanao, a 500 Street Buy voucher courtesy of Interview Solutions. Again, we have 3 more contests, so put that in. And I just want to say thank you again for everyone who made this possible. And this is me signing off. I'll see you in the main track pala. So let me just quickly read the comments. Yes, thank you so much to everyone who commented. And let's move to our main hall. We will be commenting the link here para you can go, but you can go to Women Tech Makers Cebu to find out the winners. And of course, sorry about that. I forgot to remind, but we will have a virtual party later. Yes, so what does that mean? We will have special performances by indie artists from different parts of the country. So check them out later in both Baguio and Cebu's page. So check them out. And before I forget, I just want to say thank you to all our speakers and to all our friends and organizers who have made this event smooth. Like, grabe, I imagine all 6 chapters come together with this one big event and we're almost done. So, this is me, Frances, signing off. I'll see you in the main hall. Bye!